What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So before we get started, do me a solid. Just hit that subscribe button. Don't even think about it. Just hit the subscribe button. I'm working really hard. If you believe in the American dream and that the harder people work, the more they should be compensated, benefited from that hard work, then you would hit that subscribe button. I would do it for you. And I mean it. Leave a comment. Leave a comment in my video and say, hey, I'm trying to start this channel. Would you mind subscribing to me? I will absolutely go to your channel and subscribe to you. And I completely mean that. All right. So I know we've been talking a lot about Conor McGregor here recently, guys, but Conor McGregor has a lot going on right now. And Conor McGregor has been in the news quite a lot recently. Okay. And I want everyone to know that we think that this stuff, that these legal troubles are over for Conor McGregor, but they're only just beginning. Conor McGregor is actually due back in court in January. He is being sued by his former friend, Artem Lobov, for 5% of whatever he sold the Proper 12 whiskey empire for. First off, Artem Lobov has a master's in business, and he helped his friend Conor kind of get this whiskey empire off of the ground, kind of a spit in a handshake sort of promise. There was nothing in writing. 5% of whatever the total sell of that Proper 12 whiskey brought. Conor apparently didn't give him that. Artem Lobov was very cross about that, obviously. Okay, talk a little bit about that, read a quick article on it. I don't have a lot to expand on because that's all we know so far. You know, they haven't gone to court yet. But this has to be just for Conor to have to show up back in court in January after being found liable of this sexual assault. And then we're also going to talk about the fiance. And I know a lot of people are probably wondering, wait, doesn't he have a, my wife said last night, like, I thought he had a wife. I'm like, well, correction. It's not his wife, it's actually his fiance. But from what I understand, she's been his fiance for quite a long time. And he has 4 children with her. Okay. Now, granted, I don't think he had 4 children at the time of the supposed sexual assault. Not that that makes anything any better whatsoever. I mean, he's still supposed to be engaged. That still, in my mind anyway, is infidelity towards Devlin. Okay. Yet she continues to kind of stick around for her man and does not believe that there is any validity to this sexual assault. I don't know if she's making things better or if she's making things worse. Either way, she put out a blistering statement directed towards Conor McGregor's accuser, which I find interesting because supposedly these guys kind of ran in the same circles growing up. You know, this accuser and Conor and Devlin and all them are from kind of the same area in Ireland, in Dublin, Ireland, okay? No more friendships there between the accuser and Devlin. But either way, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Artem Lobov and Conor appearing back in court, and then we're going to go Devlin and where she is in this whole sexual assault thing, okay? New 8.3 million court battle looms for Conor days after losing Nikita Hand's civil assault case. It appears Conor McGregor's legal battles are far from over. After losing his recent civil assault case trial, the Irishman is being sued by his former training partner and ex-UFC fighter Artem Lobov over his Proper 12 Irish whiskey business. For context, McGregor and Lobov have been involved in a legal dispute since November 2022, after the Russian-born fighter accused the Irishman of cutting him out of the whiskey company sales deal. Lobov also claimed he came up with the idea for selling whiskey and sued McGregor for millions in restitution. It appears McGregor will appear in court again in January, according to Irish outlet Dublin Live. It could cost the former 2-division UFC champion about $8.3 million. That's all there is on that because, like I said, they've not gone to court yet. And this wasn't in writing, unfortunately. And Artem Lobov, supposedly having a master's degree in business, you would have thought that he would have known to get this 5% in writing. But hey, you know, they were boys, they were friends, they were training partners. Maybe he felt like he could trust Conor. Seems like there are a lot of trust issues surrounding Conor recently. And that is a great segue over to Devlin, his fiance of quite a few years. She is coming to his aid and actually stepping up to the accused and accusing the accuser of gold digging, being money hungry, an opportunist, that sort of thing. I find this strange for a few reasons because Conor has been in trouble multiple times in the past, and he is known for being a person who is unfaithful to Devlin. Maybe she just feels like, this is Conor McGregor. I'll never get another Conor McGregor. A lot of people will say, well, she's after his money. Listen, she has his 4 children. If she were to file some sort of suit against him, which I understand they're not married, and I'm not sure what the Irish law is on this, but if she were to break off things with Conor McGregor and go her own way and live separate from him, based on what he is worth and what his net worth is, she could leave Conor McGregor and still live as a very, very wealthy woman for the rest of her days. Any kind of child support that Conor would be responsible for paying would be based on how much he's worth and how much money he's able to pay every month. She could leave him tomorrow, and I guarantee you she would live as a wealthy woman until the day she passed away. So either she just really loves him and she's going to stand by her man until the end, or she's just in complete denial. One of the two. I don't know if this article is going to tell us which, but here we go. Conor McGregor's fiance unloads on accuser in blistering statement. My sons will be warned that women like you exist. Conor McGregor's fiancee, Devlin, has opened up about the UFC star being found liable in sexual assault case from 2018. McGregor was found civilly liable by a high court jury this past Friday and has been ordered by the court to pay approximately $258,440 to victim Nikita Hand. Originally, she asked for $1.7 million. Do with that information what you will. The former 2 division UFC champion says he will appeal the ruling and that what happened in December 2018 was consensual. Devlin, the mother of McGregor's 4 children, has spoken out about the situation in a series of Instagram stories, attacking the credibility of Hand and standing by McGregor. This is quote from Devlin. Imagine a woman with her own boyfriend and child texting provocative pictures of herself to another woman's man with a family and a child on the way, Devlin stated. This woman claims to know me, yet still went ahead and sent messages and pictures of herself over and over to my man. I'm sure Conor was just, please don't. No, please don't send any more pictures. No, please. My virgin eyes, but hey, that it is a fair statement by her, because part of Nikita Hand's claim through all of this is that the reason she resisted Conor in the first place was partially due to her being on her period. Secondly, that she supposedly knew Devlin and didn't want to, I guess, disrespect her in that way. But now we find out that she was sending provocative pictures of herself to Conor. Really? Whilst on a 3-day bender texting excuses to her own child at home where Mammy is on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, into Monday morning, all the while out of her face in a hotel room, dancing around a hotel car park. What sort of woman are you? My sons will be warned. Women like you exist. CCTV does not lie. I look forward to the day the world will see the footage on that night and the carry on of you. Not a bother on you having the time of your life. This is the real evidence. Video footage no one knew was being taken in the moment which you miraculously don't remember. To me, it looks like you're the one sexually assaulting to the lift. Lift, I think, is the elevator. To me, it looks like everyone is trying to get away from you. Additionally, Devlin made a separate Instagram post showing her support for McGregor, saying that she trusts and believes him. Nothing or nobody will change that, Devlin wrote. Our family stands strong. McGregor has released a series of statements, including his regret of infidelity after the ruling, denying any wrongdoing. A lot has happened since, which includes McGregor being removed as the face of proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Devlin says that she and McGregor dealt with the situation a long time ago, and that they have moved forward as a couple and as a family. Conor and I dealt with these issues privately many years ago, as should be done in any relationship, and we have come out stronger than ever, Devlin said in her final Instagram story. We have 4 beautiful children now whose smiling faces and happy hearts are a testament to who he is and who we are. They without sin cast the first stone. Certain things stand out in here to me. I do notice that she says it looks like you were the one doing the sexual assaulting to her. I don't, I believe that. Obviously she admits, Nikita Hand that is, admits to being extremely inebriated. So I think it's pretty clear, even based on the security tape footage, that she was hanging all over Conor, hanging all over James Lawrence, being very flirtatious, and they were on a 3-day bender. They were drinking. They were doing cocaine. She was lying to her fiance and her child at home about her whereabouts. All of these things are true. Okay. Now, what I will say is this paints a picture from D. Devlin that Conor is completely innocent in all of this. And here's my thing. Conor admits to the infidelity, D. Devlin. Okay? He admitted to having sex with this woman. So the fact that she's going after this woman with that sort of venom, calling her out for all of these different things, plus saying it looks like she was the one doing the sexual assaulting and this, that, and the third. Come on now. Conor admitted to having sexual relations with this woman that particular night. So it sounds to me like just a little bit of a woman scorned here, and I'm sure, obviously, Conor is her man, that's her fiance. They have 4 children together. They've been together for quite a long time. I think literally over 15 years. I think they got together in like 2007, 2009, something. It's been quite a while that they've been together. And, you know, it does appear that she's throwing venom from a place of hurt, a place of kind of lashing out at the woman, when in actuality, there's no doubt in my mind that Conor was complicit in all of this, the sexual relationship, more than likely the provocative photos that were being sent. I'm sure that he was edging that on or egging that on. How do I know this? Because I'm a man. That's why. Us men can be vile creatures, especially when it comes to our sexual nature. And we live in this day and age where, there's pornography is a $1 billion industry, and men are much more physical, visual specimens than are women. I'm not saying there's not some women out there that get off on seeing a man naked or something like that, but that's more so a man thing. Men can get off on that and get excited by seeing some random woman that they've never had anything to do with naked, and it is what it is. Partly, I think, just the way that we're made. Partly, it could, I think, due to pornography and how what a huge industry that is, and is infiltrated the internet in such a huge way over the past 20 years since internet has been a thing. um, but I will say I do feel like that she is making this worse. I feel like Devlin may be making this a little bit worse for Conor. I've expressed on here multiple times that I think the woman could be lying. I think that Nikita Hand absolutely has some huge, major red flags and inconsistencies in her claims and in her account of events that night. I have said that multiple times on this channel. Okay. But what Devlin is doing is almost trying to put the ball completely in Nikita Hand's court and taking any of the heat off of Conor McGregor, almost like she sexually assaulted him. Come on now. Come on. We know better than that. We know better than that, and it does make you wonder what kind of conversations Conor and Dee have had in the background, behind all of this. And she says that they've already dealt with this back in 2018 when the infidelity took place. That may be true, but I do also know that she is probably subject to Conor's account of all of this. Okay. And Conor's account of all of this quite likely is, I would say, different than what actually happened. Like, I'm sure that Conor, uh, I'm sure that Conor didn't admit to Devlin that he was asking for nudes, or asking for provocative pictures, or bringing this woman to a hotel with the thought in his mind the whole time of hopefully, this was a premeditated setup to try to have sex with this woman. I do believe that all of these things are true of Conor, okay? Of Conor. Now, do I think that he raped her or sexually assaulted her? I don't think any of us will ever know, and I think it's one of those things where it is possible for sure. Um, Someone being violent does not necessarily make them a rapist or a person that would sexually assault someone. It also doesn't mean that they wouldn't. So the only people that know what happened, I would first say, are Conor and Nikita Hand. But based on how inebriated it seems like everybody involved was, I'm not sure if her account of events is solid or clear. I'm not sure if his account of events are solid and clear. I mean, it is one thing we know for sure: they were living it up. They were drinking tons. They were already drunk and had been drinking for hours, if not days, once they got to the hotel. And then once they get to the hotel, they get more vodka and other drinks and liquor and stuff delivered. I mean, they were all three sheets to the wind, okay? Let's get honest about that. And I I know what it's like to be three sheets to the wind. I'm not a huge drinker, but I have done plenty of substances and drugs and drinking in my life as a 48-year-old man. And I know the kind of shit that goes down when people start getting off of their rockers drunk. Okay? So I'm not saying he didn't assault her, and I'm not saying that he did. But what I am saying is it's really hard to trust either person's account of what the facts actually are. Okay? When you're that drunk and you've been drinking for that long on a 3-day bender like that, you don't know any more about what the facts are than probably any of us. Okay? Let's get honest about the whole thing. Right? I've been drunk to the point before where I literally didn't remember how I got home. I'm not bragging about that, but I have. And I'm sure plenty of you out there watching have. Okay? So Devlin, I think, is kind of making it worse. You don't need to be a Conor shill. You know, I understand that she thinks that this woman is just after money. She's probably angry at the kind of stigma it's putting on Conor. You know, being a rapist, she sees him as a good father, a good husband, good provider, all of those things. But she also needs to understand and accept that the Conor that is the father and fiance to you, I don't think is the Conor that's always out in the world. Okay? And I think he has shown to have the family man face, Conor. The faithful fiance face, Conor. And then you got the Conor that's out there in the world partying it up, slapping people in pubs, punching DJs, throwing dollies into buses, you know, doing cocaine and drinking on 3-day benders and all the rest of it. Okay, so Conor, come on, D, come on. In my opinion, the best thing for her to do is just kind of just keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Let it mull over. And I know it's one of those things where a sexual assault stigma kind of sticks around and hangs over a person's head. But when it's a beloved athlete and a beloved character, people, especially fans, but people in general, want to forget. There's going to be a lot of venom and hate and stuff at first, but a perfect example of it, a couple of weekends ago, Mike Tyson. Is everyone forgetting that Mike Tyson, probably, I don't know exactly when it was, but 20, 30 years ago, he was not only accused of grape, but he was actually convicted of grape and actually spent time in prison. So this was no civil case where they didn't see enough evidence. He actually did time in prison for grape, right? And 30 years later, 108 million people are dying to watch him get in the boxing ring again on Netflix. Do you think anybody is sitting around thinking about that grape charge that he got 30 years ago? Nobody's thinking about it. Nobody cares. Okay? So I'm not saying that it's not always going to be there and it's not always going to kind of be a cloud hanging over Conor's head, but it will lessen. You know, people have short-term memories when it comes to stuff like this. So eventually he will at least somewhat live this down, and it won't be something that people will just constantly be so venomous about like they are now. Okay? But Devlin, hey, I understand, but stop posting on Instagram. You know, leave it alone. Let him appeal it. You know, see where it goes after that. But as far as fighting his battles for him, I just think she just needs to, yeah, nah, shh, shh, okay? Because Conor ain't no angel, and we know that. Everybody knows that. And it's unfortunate because by her saying these things, it almost seems like she doesn't know that. You know, maybe she's just delusional. Maybe she's just blind. Maybe she's just blindly in love with Conor. You know, she's going to stand by him through hell or high water. Listen, I'm not saying she's wrong for that, but what I am saying is it's probably better you just keep your mouth shut about it, because everyone else out here in the real world knows that Conor's not perfect. Okay? He's just not. He's just not. He hasn't been perfect, and he wasn't perfect in this situation either. Okay? All right, guys, that's what I got. I'm going to go. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. Should Dee just step off, or is she doing the right thing by getting out there in the public eye and defending her man in this way. Let me know what you think. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. Peace.